And welcome back. For Wednesdays, who would win? Egotistical Ghost asks us the question: Who would win in a fight? Alexander Anderson from the Hellsing series, Hellsing Ultimate, the manga, anime, so forth and so on, or Justin Law from Soul Eater. Now, with Alexander Anderson, I, if I remember correctly, didn't start out as a priest. I think it's something along the lines as he was like a drug user and a criminal and a murderer. And then at some point he actually took on he like took up a blade and killed a vampire, and he felt like a something along those lines. I don't know the full backstory of Anderson, why he is the way he is, but essentially he's a priest, or he's Father Anderson. So it's a priest. And he works for the Catholic Church, particularly the Iscariot organization. Uh, and they don't actually ever say how old he is. I think he looks like he's either in his late 30s, mid 40s, but he's still pretty much in peak physical condition because what he does is kill vampires. And it's how his physical condition is aided by the fact that nanites were injected into him, nanobots were injected into him, so which gives him enhanced physical capabilities, a healing factor that can be taxed when like enough damage is done. Like when Alucard used one of his explosive rounds, blew his arm, just hanging like a piece of meat on there, just like a hurting. His arm just chin chin chin. So, and excessive damage he can't heal from, but he could heal from a standard gunshot to the head and all that. That's not a problem. It took specialized equipment to actually injure him. And his preferred weapon of choice is, now he's capable of using pretty much any weapon he wants, theoretically speaking, but his preferred method of attack he's using a weapon is bayonets, which, you don't even know how to use a bayonet. It goes at the end of the gun, stupid. Even though I just made a German sound Italian, but whatever. But no, he uses a bayonet effectively like daggers, like short swords, and he uses them with deadly proficiency. He's capable of just dual wielding them, summoning pretty much bayonets for days. He's summoning bayonets for days. He just doesn't seem to run out of those things. Capable of just throwing them as he will. He can also basically, I don't know if it's a magical effect or whatever, essentially line a hallway with pages from the Bible to keep the undead bound. Use the Bible kind of like as a transportation kind of thing. Like it's almost like teleportation kind of, sort of. Or it might just be used for effect. Either way, though, he's an extremely deadly combatant. He's skilled in hand-to-hand combat. He is not altogether there. He takes a very large amount of joy in his work. But if things get tricky, we are going to use this version of Anderson if we have to. He does have a trump card, the nail of crap. What was it called? It was basically one of the nails that pierced Christ's body. And the minute he inserted himself, he basically no longer was a man, but became a monster of God. His body seemed to be composed a majority of like thorns, and so he was like a sentient, because I'm guessing it was a reference to the crown of thorns on Jesus' head. He pretty much became like a living like plant monster. Like normal damage didn't do anything to him. Well, I don't know, like he got his head blown up, but it was just replaced with like plants, whatever. He like summoned more plants. He could basically summon it was mostly thorns and vines. Pretty much he cast enough that it was affecting even Alucard's immortality, and Alucard's immortality is it's a pretty OP form of immortality. But he wasn't invincible. If you were to take it, if you were to somehow either destroy the nail, which didn't seem possible because Alucard actually got a direct hit on that thing and it didn't break it, or remove his heart and remove the nail, pretty much. Basically, you got to remove the nail from his heart, and the effects are going to basically subside. And assuming you remove his heart, like Alucard did, he'll last for a bit longer in terms of his life, living, but he's maybe only got a couple minutes left. He pretty much wasted to dust after that. Justin Law is actually a weapon. He's a death scythe, or was it a death scythe? Death's weapon, pretty much. In Soul Eater, I never watched Soul Eater. Well, I've seen a little bit here and there. I actually did a versus with Frankenstein a while back with Mayuri. You can check that in the playlist. Essentially in the world there are the misers, I believe they're called, individuals who go out and kill evil souls. And the deaths, they're death weapons, more or less. Now, they can take the weapon of either like a scythe, or in his case, actually a guillotine. But they're all diverse stuff like that. But they're actually, the weapons are actually kind of like in Bleach or Senti individuals. But these guys can actually take human form and also work with their misers as well. Now, apparently, a death scythe, or a death weapon, I should say, because he's not a scythe in this case, can be an effective fighter on his own without a miser. And Justin Law is one of those examples. And Justin Law he was like a devout, kind of like a priestess type figure, but he eventually lost himself to madness of some kind and went crazy and just tried to kill anyone he could. Kind of wacky in some sense, but also serious in others. Personality is not going to really matter in this. But because of this, he has a lot of kind of like prayer ability. So he will cast a prayer, and apparently wavelength is like their form of energy in this world. Whatever that means. Wavelength. Probably like spiritual wavelengths or something like that. So he casts a prayer, and he can do things along the lines of, you know what? I'm just gonna get those up right now. I probably should have had them to begin with, but I didn't think I would forget. Justin Law. Justin Law. We have an assignment for you, Justin Law. Sounds like some kid getting expelled. Justin Law. Yeah. Now that I say that name out loud, it does sound stupid, doesn't it? And again, a lot of anime characters does. So anyway, wavelength control a death scythe as anyone else does it. Now, besides his prayer ability, whenever he's worshipping either to death, because he feels very connected to death, performs a technique. Although he usually does perform prayer for executing some of his techniques, it's not a requirement. He's just kind of a devout, faithful kind of guy. He has the law-abiding silver gun, a powerful technique in which, after performing a prayer, Justin's guillotine blade is pointed at a target and sends a powerful ray of light made up of his soul wavelength, which is, again, energy, capable of cleaving the oldest golem's head. The oldest golem's head, I'm guessing, was a really big golem made from some really durable material. So he's casting an energy blade straight from his guillotine arm. Law-abiding silver gun Radiant, a variation of law-abiding silver gun that instead produces a wide dispersing beam capable of pushing Gurinko himself back, who I'm guessing is very powerful. Now, full weapon transformation. He has never been seen in his full weapon transformation. However, his weapon form, known to be a guillotine, has not, despite this, he has a tendency to use partial transformations. A stationary type, known as a stationary type of weapons, and as such is capable of setting traps due to his weapons related powers. Essentially, using his arms, creating stands and kind of bending them, as I'm seeing in this picture, and then, getting your head stuck and you could slice your head off. As such, he's capable of creating a guillotine-like trap in which traps enemies and bisects them with a blade like that of a real guillotine. Holy Cross Chop, an attack in which Justin attacks with his arms, being partial blades from his guillotine weapon form, creating a and yeah, I'm seeing this too right here. Fascinating. He's got like these crosses on his arms. Creating an offensive cross formation. Such an attack was lethal, capable of critically damaging Gurinko had he not used his defensive chain ability. Good to know. Karkan Braz. Braz? I'm guessing Braz. A technique in which Justin immobilizes his opponent's limbs by transforming his arms into the headlock component of a guillotine. Fair enough. Headbutt of Love. After immobilizing an opponent with Karkan Braz, Justin pulls them forward and delivers a headbutt. That's silly. Enhanced durability. As seen, he's able to take blunt hits from both Mary Mjolnir's powerful punches and direct hits from Frankenstein's using Mjolnir, despite the fact that his speed far surpasses his own after the latter uses his lightning rope. Point being, he can take a lot of blunt force trauma. Master of autonomous hand-to-hand combat. He's a very skilled hand-to-hand combatant. I'll definitely say he's more suited to hand-to-hand combat than Anderson is. Anderson's more of a weapon user than hand-to-hand user. And he can read lips. Form-based abilities from Madness Fusion, which he fused with a clown, which is essentially like this humanoid embodiment of madness. He's kind of cool. It kind of looks like a like this weird jester, but with like a kind of almost like a a death, not a death mask, but it looks almost like it'd be like a rotting corpse skull, but he's got no eyes and he's just got these lines kind of remembers a mouth. It's kind of freaky. Executioner, essentially he takes on this form, sharing waves with a Christian capable of having madness wavelength, which basically he's got a stronger base energy and he's capable of using chain blades. In which he replaces his hands capable of fighting opponents as well as deflect attacks like vector arrows. So let's say let's just say that in the World Soul Eater, Justin has come to the Vatican. He's playing, but his former justice doesn't work, and he starts killing people. And Father Anderson's been called in to help. So it's like, oh, now aren't you the naughty one? It's like, and then they're trading some jabs, and maybe Justin just fires maybe a wavelength at him and just blasts him. Yes, Father, I've heard many things about you, but you can't stop true justice. And all of a sudden, ching, 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 ching. He only gets like a couple bayonets and say, oh, true justice, eh? Let me tell you a lot. The only true justice is the justice of God himself. So he just comes in and just fires, throws more. This time they get blocked by guillotine form. And the fight comes out, and right off the bat, Anderson's getting in close combat because that's what Anderson's bread and butter is. He has no real long-range capabilities in his base form, so he's going to be throwing some swings. Now, Justin's going to have the edge in hand, like just straight hand-to-hand combat. That's just the way it is. I mean, just seeing some clips of him actually fighting. Now, this is like levels of fighting that, and we've not seen Anderson's not capable of. We have just not seen that. Because I'm watching, they got a clip right now. Because I got the wiki up and they got a clip. Don't you love now that they actually do have clips on this on wikis? And remember when they didn't do that? Patrick's Farm remembers. So yeah, I'm seeing this, and yeah, he's moving far faster than Anderson's ever moved. At least in terms of like a hand-to-hand combat style type of fighting. But Anderson may be able to keep up kind of with his blades a little bit, just ding 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 ding. And oh man, what is, sorry, sidetrack, like the Science Channel. I got the Science Channel on, and this idiot was under a train for some damn reason. Okay, whatever. So yeah, so the fight's gonna go like that. And Justin, as far as I know, he's got durability, but cutting weapons might be a problem for him unless he's not being hit, unless they're hitting the blade parts of him. So yeah, he'll now he's in close range, so he can now trap Anderson into his guillotine, start sporting formations, getting trapped in. Like, oh, what's this now? So he's got him trapped, and Anderson's a little cumbers by this. So it's like, now it's just a guillotine. It's like, yeah, this is your judgment. And then Blade's going to come down, but Anderson's just going to be like, I have to reserve that judgment for another time, lad. And then just slices through the guillotines and just shinks, like, it stabs right into him. Just, ah! And then, it goes, and then maybe he, then he tries to do the Karaka Bras and just trap Anderson. He gets maybe Anderson's arm, and Anderson just guts an arm, a bayonet. Like I said, bayonets for days. So just keeps going. He keeps trying to pin Anderson down. Now, I think he's got the advantage overall in like pure strength and speed and hand-to-hand and overall abilities. But Anderson's regenerative capabilities and the fact that he's just really skilled with those bayonets. Let's be clear, those bayonets are probably not average bayonets. No, they can't be. They're probably like blessed bayonets. So they probably are stronger and have a stronger effect on the wicked. Which, despite his holier-than-thou attitude, especially when he kind of left this whatever group he was with and went mad, he ain't holier than thou anymore. He can like try to preach all he wants, but Anderson was still fighting in the name of God and actually for overall the good right cause. It's just it's just that he was an extremist about it, whereas Justin actually worships death. He doesn't worship God per se, so he would qualify, and those could possibly hurt him more because of that. No guarantee. But still, now Justin's feelings like he's just he's like, I will kill you. Summons our wavelength or silver gun. It was lawbuying silver gun, just another blade, just shing, and then tries to radiate again. He just can't seem to pin Anderson down. Anderson's healing enough that he can keep going. So just somehow he summons the clown and he takes on his executioner form, and now it's just like, and maybe I don't know if he can talk in this. We'll assume he does. Like, so it's like I cannot be executioner, so that form couldn't be your execution, so I will be your executioner instead. He's got pretty much all the same abilities, I'm guessing, that he had before, amplified even stronger, and he's got the blade chain. So now just some of those, and now Anderson's like, bloody hell! It's like, oh, son of a Protestant whore. So just, he's blocking him, he's getting ripped up a bit, and now he's getting damaged to the point where he can't necessarily heal immediately from it. He even gets a blade like right near, just nearly taking off his arm. However, Anderson at least is able to go shink and just, because they're chains, so you got links, stops the chains enough because he like sears it with bayonets. So now they say, Jared's like, and now it's like, you're not giving me much of a choice here. All right then. Obviously, circumstances aside, we're giving him the ability, we're allowing him to use the nail in this case. And then just boom. If I could be anything, I'd be a bayonet. And I remember that quote from I'd be a bayonet of God. Or if I could be a reborn, I'd be like a divine punishment or something like that. So stabs it in him. Maybe the chain comes in. Just finally takes his head off. However, Anderson just suddenly slices his arm clean off, and he's just like, what? And you see the thorns coming and stuff like that, and just, oh God, and he just, in the name of the Father and the Church and the Holy Spirit, I absolve you of our sins and grant you everlasting peace in the loving arms of God Himself. Amen. And then just stabs him right in the head like he did Alucard, and just starts like, bursting into flames, just burning on the ground, just. And then now Father Anderson's pretty much a giant plant monster of God. So it's going to be teaching the kiddies the loving joy of God from a plant monster perspective. Good on you, Father. So yes, if we allow both these guys to reach their final forms, which I think if we're allowing them the capability of doing so, it does reach that point. Then yes, I think Anderson wins because. Despite the fact he does dress like a priest, as far as I can tell, he worships and faith in death, not in God. So there's a difference in that, and there's a difference in that philosophy. So he's not really a holy man, despite the fact he dresses like one. Whereas Father Anderson is a holy man, and therefore he actually has a moral edge. And believe it or not, that actually takes a factor in this fight when you're considering the fact that Father Anderson's bayonets probably are blessed. So they probably do smite the wicked for something fairly interesting. Plus, when you actually compare their forms, again, I don't know the full capabilities of the Executioner form. Maybe it's only just been revealed, assuming this Soul Eater is still going on. I imagine it is. But yeah, I'm assuming there's probably more abilities than just what we've seen. But if we're going by just if he has basically all his standards abilities plus the chain blades and probably plus enhanced anything else and a cool, honestly, I like the design. It's pretty cool. Then comparing the two, Anderson was able to pretty much wipe out nigh an entire army of undead souls that Alucard had taken control of over the centuries. So yeah, I because of that, because they pretty much had the power of God behind them, I have to go with Anderson in that fight. If we had left it just to their base forms, I might have leaned more toward. I'm not saying I would have given it, but I might have leaned more towards Justin. But if we're going to both their final forms head to head, I got to go with Anderson. That's exactly what I got to do. To what percentage? Well, it all depends. In his final form, if he could somehow target Anderson's heart and he sends a chain, which is possible. If he sends a chain blade and just takes out his heart, yes, he would beat him then. But that's assuming he knows to target his heart, to target the nail. I don't know what his mentality kind of is like in that farm. It could be very far gone at that point. But yes, there's a chance. I'll even go a solid 10% chance in that. But that means 9 out of 10. 90% of the time, Anderson wins that fight. But hey, you know what? Let me know if you think different. If you do that, it's totally cool. Put it in the comments below. Let's talk about it, man. Or woman, or dog, or... I'm not going to say the other one, because that would be insulting you ladies. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a conversation. That's more or less what I'm trying to get at. Let's all have fun on it. That's all this channel is about. It's just having fun. Let's have fun. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. To this day, I've only had one review request, and I did it. Double Dragon was the review. I have that review up. And you know what? I'll be honest. It was a bad movie, but I had fun watching it. It was a fun kind of bad. Also, ideas for who would win, Star Wars, superhero, what if, magic, anything I do in the channel, put in the comments below, let me know, I'll get to that at some point. I don't have any plans for tomorrow except for the magnum opus of films, the greatest film of the year opening this week. Let us not kid ourselves that it is Peter Rabbit. No, actually, I'm joking, of course. It's the Magnificent 50 Shades Free. Of course you'll be waiting for that. I've been waiting all my whole life for this. Even before they created Twilight, this is based loosely off of, like, fan fiction. I wish I were joking about that. I believe that the first 50 Shades of Grey is more or less based loosely off Twilight fan fiction. Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching. One quick side note. I get a lot of suggestions from you guys, and I appreciate it. I put them down in my notebook, and I will take those suggestions till the day I finish this channel, if I ever decide to finish this channel or end this channel. Which, trust me, if I do, that won't be for a long time. But I've noticed a couple people, and I've brought this up before, but it bears repeating because I've seen it happen again. It's nothing serious. I noticed people repeating the same comment, thinking I'm either not seeing it or just because I'm not responding to your comment. Just because I get a lot of comments, and plus I have a lot to do during my week because I work about 5 days out of the week easy. So I don't have time to reply to every one of your comments or suggestions. But please know that I have seen your comment. If you've made a suggestion, I have seen those suggestions. I have seen your comments, and I do put them down in the notebook. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you folks next time.